Let's get ready to rumble! Holy cow!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ike here again, and I have not done a NASCAR rag chew since I've been out here on the road. It used to be a very weekly thing for me, just talking about the races, but ever since I got out here on the road, it's just been kind of, I haven't had the time, and the video time that I do have is, you know, trucking related stuff. I kind of find a passion in doing that, so forgive me to all three of you who have been watching my videos, my NASCAR rag chews. All, you know, I'm sure all three of y'all been missing my videos. Anyway,
I feel the need for speed.
I would like to say that it's been a great year, and this chase has been the best chase ever. No matter who wins, if Jimmy Johnson and that cheater crew chief of his wins, then, you know, by golly, they deserve it this year. Not like they haven't last, you know, even though 2 out of 4 still should be tainted. So what's been going on? Let me catch y'all up in case y'all haven't heard. Right now there's a 3-way battle for the championship, and they're going to race tomorrow at Miami Homestead Speedway, or Homestead Miami Speedway, whatever they call it. It's in Miami, and they're going to race there, and whoever wins probably is going to be the champion. It's almost between those two, Denny and Jimmy, and Kevin will win only if something happens to Denny and Jimmy, because, you know, those guys are just on top of their game right now, and I just don't see Kevin winning. But I would not have a problem with Kevin Harvick winning, because after all, that is the old 3 car, and I like Kevin. Kevin is just so stinking hilarious. I like him. I love his attitude. So, man, if something happens to Denny, of course I'm pulling for Kevin. Good friend of Tony. Good friend of Tony's. And, you know, so I'm going to dig for that 29 if something happens to Denny. But why am I pulling for Denny Hamlin? I've heard by multiple people, Ike, you're nothing but a bandwagon fan. Look at you wearing that Denny Hamlin cap or whatever. Let me tell you people something. When Denny first came into NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, he got his first pole at Texas Motor Speedway. He was at that time the teammate of my driver, Tony Stewart. The following year, because of that pole at Texas, he won the Bud Shootout. And me and my wife said, well, something's about this kid that we like, you know. And that following race, which was in April that we went to in Texas, you know, we had bought some like bumper stickers to put on a car. We bought some T-shirt and a cap, I think, all that. So that was his rookie year. He won Rookie of the Year that year, and we were fans of his. I'm flabbergasted when people call me a bandwagon fan when we were Denny Hamlin fans from day one of his Cup ride. And it doesn't mean we're any less of Tony Stewart fans. I'm the biggest Tony Stewart fan that I know. I mean, I know some pretty big Tony Stewart fans, but I've pretty much followed Tony Stewart like crazy. But I also follow Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs Racing, I'm a big fan of. The 20 car, the 18 car, and the 11 car. You know, I love those cars. I love that team. And if Tony was to retire, depending on who they put in that car to replace him, I would probably name Denny, you know, the #1 driver on my, you know, my list of drivers who I root for. So, anyway, so I am not some kind of, what do you call it, bandwagon fan. I've been a fan of Denny Hamlin for a good long while, and I knew this kid had something You know, at first he was good only on flat tracks like Pocono and Martinsville and Phoenix, Richmond, those type of kind of a flat track. But ever since here, like the last couple of years, he's stepped it up on every track. He's a true champion. If he wins it, he'll be a true champion. Why? Because he could race and be competitive at every single track that NASCAR has. There's not one track that you can't say that, hey, Denny Hamlin's is going to be a contender. He's good at everywhere. And not only is he good, talented, he's smart. And I think that's part of his strategy as winning the championship, is him being smart. About as smart as Jimmy Johnson, if not smarter. And I think if he wins this year, he'll have a couple more at least in his career, because I think he's that good. Like I said, I'm not going to take anything away from Kevin. I've always been a Kevin Harvick fan ever since he took over the 3 ride. And
I'm pretty impressed and pretty proud to be the first guy in motorsports, first guy in NASCAR to be on the Wheeze box.
I'm digging Denny for the championship, and he's 15 points ahead of Jimmy right now. So that makes a very interesting race tomorrow. Anyways, my picks to win, and I want to pick Denny Hamlin to win just because, you know, to make it go out. But outside of the chasers, I think you want to look at someone who has a promise for next year. We've always kind of seen it. Last year, Denny Hamlin won, and Denny Hamlin made that the same. I'm going to be in that championship hunt next year. He made a bold statement like that. So I'm going to say someone green, someone who's due for a win is probably going to win. I'm going to say I have a list of drivers: Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards is, you know, he could probably do it, even though he won last week. I think he could do it again this week. But I will go with Joey Logano or Carl Edwards, or Jamie McMurray, probably throwing Marky Martin in there. And let me do a little shout out for Awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Bill Elliott, man, I wish he would win something, because he qualifies darn good and just falls back like a rock. And, you know, and he's people always talk about Mark Martin being the old guy out there, but I think people forget about Bill Elliott. Bill Elliott was an awesome race car driver, and as an old Earnhardt fan, I never did really care for him much, just because, you know, he just, you know, was an Earnhardt. But you know, every time I think of Bill Elliott, I always think about those old school days when I was a kid watching Earnhardt and Bill Elliott and Davey Allison and all of them from back in the day. And, you know, you always kind of got to, you know, remember Bill Elliott. And we'll say this 20 years from now about whoever's old then, but I'll say that Bill Elliott, man, I just wish he would win one. And it would be so special if he won one here at Miami. You'd have the biggest chase in history, the best chase in history, and then here comes Bill Elliott, wins after, you know, 84 years. You know, it's been 84 years since his last win, and I would love to see him win, just to say, hey, man, I'm still here. So, anyways, I'm gonna do one last NASCAR Rag Chew tomorrow night after the race, to talk about the race, and maybe next year we could get on a weekly thing again, but I don't know, depending on what's going on. But it's been a fun year, and we'll do all that sappy stuff next video. So anyway, 73, enjoy the race, everybody. It's going to be a classic.
What makes the Monte Carlo so good? Me.